Hey guys, here we go into the keys to victory for Guillermo Rigondeaux to beat Vasyl Lomachenko, and this is key to victory 1 of either 3 or 4. I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to do, but each fighter is going to get 3 or 4 keys to victory to beat the other. And Guillermo Rigondeaux's first, and obviously, you know, everyone's going to be like, you know, if you talk to anybody, oh, Guillermo Rigondeaux is so fast and he's got so much power and, like, you know, whatever, you know, fake boxing skills. You know, being fast is not a skill. Being, you know, punching hard is not a skill. Those are part of your tools, right? The intangible tools. But while being fast to a degree does help you land your punches, as Floyd Mayweather says, Floyd Mayweather, one of the fastest fighters in all of boxing ever, even at age 50, right? I mean, I know he's only 40, right? But even at age 40, one of the fastest fighters in all of the sport says it's not about speed, it's about timing, right? And, you know, it's great, you know, to have speed and power, right? That's fantastic. Very few fighters are ever blessed to have both talents, right? Or both tools, but speed only helps you land your punches so much, right? You still have to have actual boxing skills to set your punches up. What we're going to be talking about is the need for Guillermo Rigondeaux to control the space between him and Vasyl Lomachenko and why that's important. So that comes down to lead hand dominance, right? The fighter that's got control of the space generally has lead hand dominance, and lead hand dominance is, you know, I don't talk about it as much in my videos. You know, when you have fighters like, well, I'm not going to put nobody on blast, but it's not very common when two orthodox fighters fight that they will vie for lead hand dominance, or two southpaws in this case. It's not super common. Only very high level guys understand this concept. But if you watch a lot of southpaw versus orthodox fighters, there's a lot of vying for lead hand dominance in those fights. And it's just interesting that a lot of times that skill isn't transferred over into like orthodox versus orthodox or southpaw versus southpaw, because there's a fundamental misunderstanding of the importance. So first off, we're going to take a look at this clip. Right away you see Vasyl Lomachenko coming in, changing levels, rolling inside, probing, and immediately Gary Russell Jr. says, hey, stop that, right? He's trying to take control of the distance between them. It's not making sure to keep the space or keep the distance, but controlling the space between them. It's however close they are is okay. That doesn't matter. It's who has control of the space that's going to be able to set their punches up. Notice right after Gary Russell Jr. throws that shot, immediately Lomachenko has to reset. Now he goes back to trying to set up his punches again, comes in, right? And he times that, right, on Gary Russell. But because Gary Russell's trying to assert lead hand dominance or trying to maintain control of the space between them, Lomachenko has to reset. Now again, he's going into trying to set up his shots, and Gary Russell Jr. flashes him a jab, makes him reset again. Again, shooting the jab, you know, using his lead hand to control the distance between them, right? Obviously, you're going to use your lead hand to set up punches as well, and it does many more things than just controlling the distance, right? But whoever has the control, and I'll go more into it at the end of the video, but whoever has control of the distance is going to be the one that's able to set up their punches. The person that's basically not afraid to occupy the space in between the two fighters is the one that's going to have the advantage, because he's going to be the one making the other one react to what he's doing. Whoops. And then this is the last one again, you know, the same thing. Now, this is a skill that Rigondeaux has shown, right? Jazza Dickens is trying to set up his own shots, and what is he doing? Giving him different looks. He just changed levels. He's peeping his head to his right leg, and Rigondeaux says, hey, stop that, right? Then they're standing in front of each other. He tries to give him some lead hand dominance, and what does Rigondeaux do? he shows a different way to control the distance between them, right? He changes levels and makes Jazza Dickens think he's going to do something, right? So you don't have to do it just with your hands. You can do it with your you can do it with your lead hand. You can do it with your right hand, right? But usually when two people fight over that, they fight over it with their lead hands. But in this case, you can control the space between the other fighters simply by giving them different looks and making them more hesitant to come into that zone so that you can occupy that zone to set up your own punches. And again, now here he is, coming in, flashing the lead hand, ducking, changing levels, right? Disrupting Jazza Dickens' his rhythm, right? And then going to throw his own shots, right? So by stopping Jazza Dickens from occupying that space and controlling it, he's able to set up his own offense. And even though he doesn't land that punch, that's not the important part, right? And here he is again, right? Touching gloves, controlling the space, right? Touching gloves with him, right? Making sure that he has control of the space, right? So what he's doing right there is he's testing the waters, right? Oh, is Jazza Dickens going to counter me? No. He's not looking to counter that lead hand right there, and that shows that as long as Guillermo Rigondeaux is willing to occupy it during that opportunity, that he has control of that space, right? So what does he do? He goes here, and then he tries to bait Jazza Dickens into throwing his own jab so he can counter him with an uppercut. Interestingly, though, Jazza Dickens did just show Rigondeaux that he's not trying to contest that space. Again, pawing with his lead hand. And look at how Jazza Dickens is trying to contest that space, right? He's seen that when he's not occupying that space, Rigondeaux is able to throw punches freely at him because Jazza Dickens has to be the one reacting to the punches, right? Because he doesn't have any control of that space. So now they're vying for it, and the person that is able to land punches is basically the one that it's kind of a dominance thing, the person who winds up able to land punches in that regard is the one that has control, right? But he's able to continually keep Jazza Dickens from landing punches simply by using his lead hand to try and control the distance. Not control the distance, but control the space between them. Now right here, showing him, flashing him the lead hand while Jazza Dickens gets into rhythm, right, giving him different looks, and breaks his rhythm, and then allows him to set up his own offense and, kind of land that left hand to the body. This is going to be something that's extremely important for him to do during the course of his fight with Lomachenko, because Lomachenko is so active in his own guard. He's so active with his feints, his probes, his head movement, and Rigondeaux is really going to need to stop Lomachenko from setting up his punches and taking up in that space. Now, earlier in the video, let's see, right here, you see Gary Russell Jr. flashing his lead hand, but he does it really quick, right? An actual punch, right? And that's not exactly the way that you want to be controlling it because it's very dangerous. You're susceptible to counters, right? But we can kind of see here that he does do some probing right here, and even using his left hand to probe and to control the space, right? Not committing to these shots, going 1-2, 1-2, just to keep Vasyl Lomachenko's mind occupied so that he's not the one that's reacting, right? So that Lomachenko's the one that's reacting to what he's doing, meaning he's not able to set up his own shots. Now, some of the problems that arise when you stop taking control, and this is something that Vasyl Lomachenko is a master at. He is so good at this. Whoops, and you missed the whole clip. So, baiting his opponents into throwing punches, right? Here, Lomachenko has all the control, right? He doesn't have any fear of occupying this space because Gary Russell Jr. is not looking to contest it. Gary Russell Jr. might be waiting for a real punch to come so that he can counter that real punch, but what he doesn't realize is that all these probes and all this stuff gets him out of position, right? And so that he can land his punches. So what happens here is Gary Russell Jr. tries to counter the probing shot. Lomachenko is able to get under it because he has all the control of the space. He's already in the space, and he's just waiting for Gary Russell Jr. to get out of position, and he's able to land a great body shot right there. The same thing right here. Beautiful right here. Not contesting the distance, right? He's just probing him, and because he has all the control of the space between them, right, with his lead hand, boom, boom, he's able to get Gary Russell Jr. to react, right, and put himself out of position so that he can land a great body shot right there. And I'm not sure if he lands that counter right hook. It's not important, but this is why it's extremely important for you to maintain control of the distance between you. Not maintain it, but control the distance between you so that your opponent doesn't have you reacting to what they're doing. You have them reacting to what you're doing, because then you can get them to react to the wrong things and then land great power shots like that. Because they put themselves out of position, because they don't know what you're setting them up for, and they don't know what they should be defending against. Now, right here, the final clip in the video is Gary Russell Jr. Still attempting to maintain lead hand dominance, right? And Lomachenko figuring out, right, off of that shot that he needs to slip it and land a right hand. And the reason that he's able to do this and able to counter is because of the fact that Gary Russell Jr. only thinks he has lead hand dominance right here, but he's not probing, he's not testing the waters, he's not looking to see what his opponent's going to react and going to do, and so he doesn't know what Lomachenko's going to do, and Lomachenko is easily able to slip that shot and fire his left hand over the top of his jab. Good thing for Gary Russell Jr., he slides to his side and he's able to get off the line out of the way of that straight left hand. But because of this shot, in this very next clip, Gary Russell Jr. is no longer looking to contest the distance between them and eats a great body shot right there. Notice, immediately after the counter, right, he's no longer looking to control the space between them because he's afraid of getting countered. And that allows Lomachenko to easily set this body shot up. Boom, and land that shot. And that's Boxing 101 for you guys, right there. The importance of maintaining lead hand dominance and maintaining, not only that, but maintaining control of the distance between the two fighters so that your opponent is reacting to you and not able to set up their own stuff. And this is going to be something, as we saw in these last two clips, right? Something that Lomachenko is very good at doing. And that's the reason why Lomachenko is going to Guillermo Rigondeaux is going to have to be maintaining control of the distance between them to stop Lomachenko from setting up his shots and stop Lomachenko from being able to make Rigondeaux make a mistake so he can land his shots. Anyway, this is keys to victory for Guillermo Rigondeaux, maintaining control of the distance and lead hand dominance. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll have likely 2 or 3 more videos coming out. I do them all in one day, but usually it takes me about, let's see, I think for the Andre Ward, Kovalev ones, it took me like 8 hours to chop all the video. Granted, I did have like a whole fight to go through, all 12 rounds for both fighters, looking for stuff that each of them did well and, you know, compiling it and, you know, whatever. And this one only has 2 rounds of each fighter, so... but regardless, you know, I'm really busy. I have midterms tomorrow, or Friday, so I've got a lot of studying and stuff to do. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And let me know what you guys think the keys to victory are, and what you guys would say are important. And if I agree, you know, I'll do a video on it, you know, and that'll be the next key to victory. We'll see. I do already have, for the most part, I have them lined up. But don't say speed and power, you guys. That shit doesn't win fights. You know, it only wins fights at the lowest level. And these guys are fighting at the highest level possible, you know. So don't say speed and power. And if someone says speed and power and everyone upvotes it, shake my damn head, you guys. Anyway, thanks, guys.